So here we are, belief, belief, belief. Believe? Do you believe? You believe. Do you know what you believe in? Have you faith in what you believe in? Really? Okay, go home then. I have nothing to share with you. I don't know about belief, and I don't know about faith myself. I have to be very careful in that regard. I have to look at that very, very scrutinally and know that what I believe in is what I believe in, and what I have faith in is what I have faith in, but more importantly, that what I believe in and have faith in is empowering me and is empowering the world besides me too. So that what I believe in is the truth and only the truth and nothing but the truth, so that I can be served and in consequence of that can serve others. So when we do look at belief, we all have them. Indeed, every single religion I know of has a creed, and in that creed is stated, I believe in God. Somewhere, I believe in God. So belief and faith are very much tied. They're twins, you know, and probably conjoined twins at that. Because what I believe in, I have faith in, and what I have faith in, I believe in, and that's the way it goes. So for me, it's very essential in my life to know what I truly believe in and what I don't, because I've learned a long time ago, actually now that I've lived 200 years, that most of what I believed in the past was simply imported, and they weren't my beliefs at all. They were picked up along the way from my parents, my family, my home, my school, the children I played with, the teachers that taught me, and so forth, the culture I came up in, and so on. And an awful lot of those beliefs I've released and let go of, because they're not mine, they never were, and I don't believe in them anymore. So I'm very careful about what I say I believe in. I'm very careful about what I have faith in. And as you know, we grew up in a tradition that tells us that faith is something, it's something that causes us to believe in some good that we desire before it comes into our lives, before it happens, when it's still on the invisible side of life. It's belief in something that there's absolutely no evidence to support, nothing to support it, and in fact the evidence points to the contrary, saying, oh, forget that, that's not going to happen. And that's what faith is. In our teaching, what is faith? What is this thing called belief? In our teaching, it is the consciousness of the realization of the presence of an infinite power, of an infinite intelligence that I am emerged in, and a power and a presence and an intelligence that fills me. That's in our spiritual teaching what we are taught, that this faith is that conscious-centered awareness of this infinite omni-power, omni-intelligence, omnipresence that lives, moves, and has its being in me, and that I am steeped in, that lives through me, it breathes through me, it's available to me with all of its power and potency available to me right here and right now. That's what faith is to us in this teaching. It is a power, it is a force, it is that which can move upon the law of life itself to bring about some good that I have desired, because I have seen the end, believed in the end, have faith in the end that I wish to accomplish, and consequently, because of that, I create the means by which the end is going to be realized and accomplished. That's what we believe, and that's what we have faith in. That's what we have faith in. So all these creeds that say, I believe in God, it's beautiful, and I love that. But then what is this thing called God that I am saying I believe in? Who is this God? What is this God? I need to be very clear about that. And Emerson is very clear about it. Emerson says, you know, until we all are able to leave the God of tradition, the God of mentality and intellect, until we're able to leave that, we cannot ever fully understand the presence that is on fire within us, that blazes within us all of the time, because we must let go of the belief in a God up there. My mother used to say, oh, never mind, dear, the man upstairs will take care of it. She often used to use that term for God. The man upstairs will take care of it. And as a little child, I thought there was this lovely man upstairs, you know, taking care of everything. And it wasn't my dad either, but there was a man upstairs taking care of everything. The man upstairs. Because she'd say that to adults, you know, don't worry there, the man upstairs will take care of it. And I'm going, I never met that man yet. I used to look in all the cupboards looking for the man upstairs, you see. And so he says, until we leave that notion behind, because that was our 4-year-old concept of God, the God up there. The beautiful, gentle, older figure of a person in white robes and a lovely long white beard. As a kid, I would love to have had my hands on it and combed it, because I used to do that with a bit of hair my father had. And so we have to understand that this thing called God is this thing called life with capitals. It's this thing called infinite intelligence. It's this thing called power, force, energy, that is absolutely on our side, supporting us and wanting only our good. It is a palpable presence. It is an energy that you can feel. You know, when people say, I got God bumps when I thought of that or saw that or had that or whatever. God bumps, it's that on steroids, but beyond that. It really is. It's that feeling that you're totally immersed and embraced by this thing called life. Life in all of its glory and magnificence and beauty and grace and goodness and wholeness and completeness. That's what this thing called God is. And it's not worth a whit to you if that God is separate from you out there, up there, wherever. It's not worth a tad to you if you can't find it right within yourself and where you are, despite yourself, in spite of yourself, no matter what's going on. Circumstances, situations, conditions, good behavior, bad behavior, whatever. Until you can find that and feel that, a fire within you, you don't know God. You don't know God. The God you believe in is not real and not the truth. Anything that's separate from you that you call God is not the truth. God is right where I am. And we, having the faith to believe in that, is what keeps us on fire and ablaze with the realization I am not just my little self. I am never alone. I am far more than I present myself to be, no matter how well I present myself. I'm far more than that, no matter how sluggishly I present myself. I certainly am far more than that. No matter what I think and feel about myself, I am more than that. And the I amness is the power and the presence of spirit that lives and moves and has its being within me and breathes as me, lives as me, is alive as me. And if God is present in me consciously, I am alive. And everybody knows it, especially myself. Nobody has to tell me to wake up and get a grip and straighten up and put a bit of energy into it and so on. Nobody has to do that when I am consciously in close communion with the source of my being, who Jesus loved to call Father. That was his name for it, the power and the presence. And I love that example that Jesus, the master lover, gives to us all the time. Love, love, love this teacher, Jesus. Why wouldn't I? He was my first teacher. He's my first teacher, always beloved. First teacher. And so beautifully all-rounded and so complete and so humble and so together and so himself and just so in possession of the truth of his own being. And the beauty of Jesus is of all of the teachers is that his whole message was, you know, I'm not different than you are. I'm not more godly than you are. I'm not more divine than you are. I'm not separate from you. I'm just exactly, I came in exactly as you came in. The only difference between Jesus and us is that he was able to evolve sufficiently to live, move, and have his being consciously aware of the presence of his source. That's the only difference, whereas you and I usually live consciously aware of our separation from our source. That's the big difference. The very big difference. When that man in terrible need fell on his feet and said to Jesus, "Good master," he interrupted them immediately, saying, "Why did you call me good? Why did you call me good? None is good but God alone. It is not I that doeth the work, it is the power of the presence of Spirit within me that doeth the work. Do not call me good master, for God alone is good. And so he had that very great sense of himself that, you know, that everybody, every single person could be as he was. You too can do these things, and greater things than I have can you do? Can you do? If you, like me, can steep yourself, immerse yourself in the realization and the consciousness that you are more than you think you are, and that indeed the very power and presence of God itself is there right where you are and fills you and can think through you and can feel through you and can act through you and can be as you. Because the truth is, you are God incarnate, God in form. You are the visible aspect of the invisible, infinite, almighty being. Oh my God! If only you and I could grasp that about ourselves and each other, this planet would be the planet of serenity that it was meant to be. And we would live in a world that works for everybody and honors everybody and appreciates everybody, receives everybody, loves everybody, cherishes all of life. How sweet a thought. And yet that's possible. And the only way it's possible is by you sitting in that chair and me standing here, becoming all that we are. Becoming all that we are. Not becoming what we're going to be, but becoming what we are right here and right now. The holy presence of the infinite itself in human form as one of its divine aspects. And without that aspect, life could not be complete. Without you in this world, without you in life and living, the whole universe would implode upon itself because it would be incomplete. That's how essential you are, how important you are. Faith, faith, faith in all of this. Faith in our spiritual teaching is that conscious awareness that each one of us has innately within us this amazing intuitive intelligence that is essential to the realization of our good. And we must use it. That power, that presence is in you and me just as electricity is everywhere present. Think about your dimmer switch. You turn on your light. You can have that light high, low, or medium. It has nothing to do with the amount of electricity available to you. It has to do with your control over what is available to you. Your control of it. I can live in dim light forever, and yet all of that electricity is available to me. I could light up a football field with it. But I might choose to live in the semi-darkness. I might choose to live in the darkness entirely, keep my blinds closed, and live in the darkness. And yet, that brilliant sun is as brilliant as ever it was and available to me if I would just open the shutters. Well, it's the same thing with my mind, whether I have the dimmer switch on low or medium or high. It's the same with the use of the power and the presence of spirit within me, whether I use that switch to go high, medium, or low, and all the shades in between. It's given to you to be in control of your life and in control of your living, otherwise you wouldn't be an aspect of the divine with the freedom to express yourself as an aspect of the divine would, in all your radiant magnificence or not. And so we're living very much below par. There's no doubt about that. We're living below our capacity, our capability. We're living below what we could achieve and succeed in and at, because we choose to. Now, Butterworth says, Eric Butterworth says that the most prevalent disease on this planet is called I can't-itis. I can't-itis. I can't, is the song, a global song of our time. I can't, because I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too fat, I'm too lean, I'm too big, I'm too small. I haven't got the right education, I haven't got the right contacts, I haven't got the right address, I haven't got, you know. And so all that beautiful, sad, sorry, sob story that puts all together all together, all those wonderful cowboy songs to shame. He stopped loving her today. Oh, cut my wrists. Turn it off. Well, the song that you sing and the song that I sing puts all of that to shame. And I can't. Except we don't even do it with energy. It's, I can't. If we had a bit of energy, it would be the start of turning it around. I can't. Well, maybe I can, you see. Because that's the energy that will give that to you, because when you put a smile on your face, it radiates energy. I can't, oh, maybe I can. And so what you and I have to do is exchange the I cans for I can. And the reason why I can is because I am. And what am I? I am the God I am. The God I am. And that's what we ought to be singing to ourselves, so that we can have faith and believe in the truth of our being. And it boils down to self-identity, what you call yourself, who you think you are. And most of us operate under very false identities indeed. And the self-image we have of ourselves lacks the value, lacks the worth that is entitled to an aspect of the divine being itself. We don't measure up in our own sight. How could we measure up in the world's? We've got to be able to see ourselves as Spirit, the divine, the infinite, sees us as that which is an aspect of its own being. And within the aspect is everything that is within infinite being. It's like the hologram. You break a hologram, pick up one little piece, and you'll see everything in it that was in the whole thing itself. And that's what you're like. That's what you're like. That's the truth of your being. You are this glorious, glorious thing encased with all kinds of crud. And we have to take the crud away to see the beauty and the grace of what is. And we've picked up the barnacles and all the rest of it as we've moved through life, accepting all the labels from the outside world that the outside world has slapped upon us as beliefs. And we've said yes to those beliefs. And this week is yours, this week is mine, to look at our belief system and to see whether that is truly what we believe in or not. And to look at this week with an opportunity to ask ourselves, well, what do I have faith in? And if you do not get the answer to, I have faith in myself, forget about the rest, go back to bed and cover your head and stay there until you can get out of it knowing you can have faith within yourself, because you'll be doing no good to yourself or anybody else out there in the world. But at least if you're in the bed with the covers over, you can only harm yourself and no one else. It's time to stop the sad, sob, sorry stories now and take possession of the power that is within you. Take possession of yourself and know yourself to be, no matter what's going on in your life, the victor over your life if you take control, if you take charge by giving the control and giving the charge up and surrendering it to the power within you that can take you through any hellfire and bring you through it all the better for it. Not even singed a little bit. Not even singed, without the smell of fire. Without the smell of fire upon you. You can walk through it all. Now, it's either time or it's not time, and there's no time like the present time. How many times have you heard that? I never even heard it. Went in this ear, and out the window. Well, this is the time. Now is the time. This is the place. And you are the one. You yourself must take care of you. Nobody else is going to. There's no Savior coming from out there. The Savior is right here within yourself and has been there ever since you arrived. And all you have to do is stop looking out there, start looking in here, stop listening out there, start listening in here. Tune in, switch on, and hear the music of the spheres that has always been singing within your heart, within your soul, endeavoring to get into your mind, but has never been allowed entrance. It's time. Open up the doors. Let it in. Let it in. The topic over the weekend, one of the seminal topics over the weekend up in Arrowhead was don't hold back. Don't hold back yourself, your power, your presence, your good. Don't hold it back. What are you sitting on it for? What are you saving it for? What are you retaining it for? It was given to you to express, and that's what's making you sick. You're bursting. You're bursting to express the good and the life and the power and the presence within you. You're bursting to express that, and you're like an elephant who has been 6 years pregnant and can't give birth. Oh, can you imagine it? Ask any woman who's ever been pregnant if she could go a 10th month, and she'd say, oh, slit my wrists. That last month can be difficult as your husband's pushing you up the stairs because you can't really make it. You can't even see your shoes anymore, and so on and so forth, etc. Just ask any woman who's been pregnant. Birth can exact from us an effort, and that's okay, because the result of it is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. What are you going to birth for yourself this week? What do you birth in every day this week? At the end of the day, do you ever ask yourself, what did I give birth to today? What did I let loose today on the world? What did I put out there today into the world? Was it good? Was it very good? Because that's what it could be. Why? Because I'm good. I'm very good. Why? Because the power and the presence of the living God, the living good, the living Almighty, lives, moves, and has its being in me. For some crazy reason, that's the way God thought it up. For some crazy reason, that's the way God thought it up, and so it is. So I'm asking you this week to get in touch with all of your I cans and get rid of them, eliminate them, let them go back onto the nothingness from whence they came. They're not true. They don't belong to you. Nothing to do with spirit, therefore consequently nothing to do with you. If it has nothing to do with spirit, it has nothing to do with you. Get rid of the I cans and start looking at the I cans. Now remember what Sister Stanislaus told us in the kindergarten. Don't tell me I can, child, because every time you tell me it means I won't. So exchange all your I cans for I won't, and you can make me do it. You're not the boss of me. I won't. I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood. I don't feel like it. I may never feel like it. I won't. At least know the truth about yourself. It's not because you can't do it. It's because you won't do it. You won't do it. You're in control. You're in control. I can't because... Well, that's so silly, really, coming from a divine aspect of being. Can you imagine spirit saying, I can't because... Can you imagine a divine being saying, I won't, don't want to, I'm not in the mood, Maybe come back to me next week, I might feel like it. So it's up to you. Are you going to live by the seat of your cans? Or are you going to live under the power of grace? Grace that has been given to you to be and do exactly whatever it is you so desire, because you are the boss of you. You're in charge. You're in control. Are you going to take it, though? That's the question. Are you going to take control? Are you going to be in charge? Are you going to identify with your true self, your essential self? Are you ready for the more? Are you ready to invest in the more? Are you ready to be whatever the more requires of you? When? So it is.